Hey everybody, this is Joseph Allen, another guitar lesson here with you today. And today we are on week 3. If you have been missing it, go back and check the other lessons. Make sure you're watching them in order that's for a reason. Does it ultimately matter? No, you learned some great techniques, but why miss out on some great free lessons that can build off of each other ultimately and just make it easier for you? So Joseph Allen Music, if you haven't heard of me, if you haven't been checking out my website, go do that. You can do that in the link below in the description. You can click the link in the comments below, as well as download my free ebook copy of my guitar book that just came out. I'm doing it for a limited time, but you can get it for free. You can download that comments below. We're actually going to be working from one of the exercises in the book today, so it'd be a great thing to go and grab that. Check my website out below. It helps so much for people to go check it out, watch some videos, and give it a like or take a look at it. And today, what we're going to be talking about is, as we're going through this 6-week series, is fingerstyle. So that was what people asked me the most, what they wanted to talk about, and so that's what we're going to be covering still today. And as we progress through the lesson, remember, we start off with maybe more simple things, or more of a beginner, the way a beginner would learn, and then we kind of, as the lesson gets more in depth, we kind of hit intermediate throughout this video, and then for a more experienced player. So if you are more experienced, just hang in there, and if you are a beginner, sit tight and get some stuff that'll motivate you. There's still some great stuff even later on that everybody can hang on to and play, as well as the weekly exercises that we always include in every video. Those are so important. So let's go ahead and get through the exercise, because one thing people ask me is, how can I play better? How can I stay in shape? How can I just keep my daily routine in and become a better player? And it's truthfully in some of the simplest things, and it's in exercises that really make just everything just gel together. So we're going to look at something super simple that everybody can do, and even if you're advanced or even a pro, these exercises that we do in every video are extremely helpful. And literally, if you just grab these exercises 10 minutes a day, it can ultimately count. If you're doing the right ones, it can count for a whole 4-6 hours of playing. You get that much of a workout. I wasn't a believer of it until I learned it and was taught that, and it is absolutely crazy, absolutely insane. It's not something I learned in college, but after. And so let's dive into take a look at this. We're going to look at what everybody knows is just literally a regular pentatonic scale. Ultimately, not ultimately, that's what it is. So see if I can kind of get in here. If you don't know what a pentatonic scale is, a pentatonic scale is just is what this scale is. It's called, technically, it's going to be a minor pentatonic scale. So if you're going to be playing, like, let's say if we did it right here on the A minor, for example, we're going to be doing this. It's A minor if you're used to seeing it down here, but same thing, just a bar chord, different position. Yeah, bar chords are harder to play. We'll be talking about that too later on through these next weeks, easier ways to play them. And so when we do it, we're going to be looking at a shape. And this shape ultimately works like this. If we start on the 5th fret of the high E string, okay? 5th fret, high E string. The low E. I play the guitar. The low E string. And then basically what you're going to do is assign one finger to every fret, meaning like literally, the first finger. It's kind of like the exercise that we did down here. Every finger belongs to a fret. That's what we're going to be doing up here, just on the 5th fret, but you're going to be doing first finger on the 5th, second finger on the 6th, third on the 7th, and fourth finger on the, what was that, 9th, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't count either. I was also homeschooled. So, 8. So, As we're doing this, you may not play all of them on the same string, but people always ask me, can I just jump around, Joe, and get just a better hand on stuff? I'm like, well, you can, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's going to hinder you in the long run. So you get to either pick. You can either, like when it's performance time, obviously it doesn't even matter. You're just trying to play clean notes. But when we're doing this, ultimately, is it going to be easier up front for you, or are you going to be like me, and 10 years down the road, you're like, oh, crud, I actually have to play basics. I can't get past this wall to play get to the next level. So my advice is struggle now, make it easier on yourself later. Save you a lot of heartache and some tears. So when we look at it, I'm not being picky, assigning different fingers that we're going to be playing. You can just use your thumb for this. It'll work fine. You can keep your fingers on the G, the B, and high E string, those three that we kind of learned from the Tawada. You're welcome to do that and just assign your thumb to the top three low strings, the E, the A, and the D, 6, 5, 4. You're welcome to assign those. Works great too, but you can also just do this with your thumb. It's more the exercise in your left hand that we're kind of concerned about with this one. So the pentatonic scale, put each finger on a fret and keep them there. So as it's there, first finger on the 5th, we're going to go 4th finger on the 8th fret. And then we're going to, homeschooler, and then we're going to go on down a string, and we're going to play first finger on the 5th. Yeah, and then we're going to play 3rd finger on the 7th. See that? First finger, 4th finger, first finger, 3rd finger. And so it's like 1, 4, 1, 3. And ultimately, that's the pattern you're going to play all the way down. There'll be some strings we do the 1 or the 4 or the 1 and the 3. But you are going to play that pattern. That's all you're going to do. First finger, 4th finger, first finger, 3rd finger. That's all you got to worry about. Nothing else at all, which is awesome. So, start from the beginning. 1st, 4th, go down a string. 1st, 3rd, go down a string. 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 1st, 4th. So when you do that pattern, start from the top string, 1, 4, go down a string, 1, 3, go down a string, 1, 3, go down a string, 1, 3, go down a string, 1, 4, go down a string, 1, 4. And yes, we will have to go down, but we'll get to that in a second. The concept we're wanting to learn here, it's like, well, that's not that bad. You're exactly right. It's like, how does playing a pentatonic scale, Joe, make me sound like the pros or get even better or just practice for 10 minutes a day? That's ridiculous. It's kind of dumb. Well, it is, unless you kind of do this, which is basically where we're going to go in. And you're going to be bending the string. We're doing some bends. Now, when we do this, so follow with me. Do the same patterns, 1, 4, and the 1 and 3. But we're going to be making our way down. So, first finger, pull it down. Pull that string down. This is kind of like a push-up or even like more guitar, kind of like lifting weights of a mindset for a guitarist in the gym with your hands. And so, go to the 4th finger, pull down, first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, And now when you get to that high B string, that second string, you're going to have to push up because you're eventually going to run out of room pulling down, especially when you get down to the E string. There's no more room. So when we get to that B string, the second string, you're going to push it up. Then the fourth finger, push it up. First finger, push it up. Fourth finger, push it up. And then back down. First finger up. Fourth finger up. First finger up. Third finger down. First finger down. Third finger down. First finger down. Third finger down. Yeah, first finger down. Fourth finger down. First finger down. So, now we're going to apply that together and play in sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way. Now when you get it faster, and what's great is with this pentatonic scale, you can move it up to the 7th fret and you can play the exact same thing. You could move it down to the 3rd fret and play the same thing. All you're doing is changing keys when you play. And how you know what key you're in is with your first finger. Right there. There's a whole thing that gets way more complicated dealing with modes or the orders. You can get into modes and then kind of apply those to pentatonic scales and play those in specific orders with specific chords. I'm not gonna get into that in this video. That's extremely complicated and would take way longer. That's like a whole series in itself. So, but all you have to know for the basics is with the pentatonic, your first finger, whatever note that is on your first finger when you start the scale, that's the minor chord. So I'm on the 5th fret, so that's A minor. So I can play that over A minor and do a little soloing or a little piddling. So, and if you may not know what note that first note is on the string, you may not know what it is, whip out a tuner and just, oh, that's a, well, let's see, that's a B, so that's a B minor. Sweet! So I can solo. It's kind of like lame soloing, but you get my idea. I got too many scales in my head. But what's cool, it's like, what's great is that will build strength in your hands, play those scales, build that up, and it's like, but what how does that apply to kind of music? Well, it's like in the world of soloing or the big finishes, you gotta love this kind of stuff, all right? So when, like, let's say the big finishes, when the bands hit down, they end their last notes, you're like, yeah, everybody's going crazy. It's like, well, it's like, whoa, what was that? Well, it's literally, if I play it here, I'm going to play it on the A minor just to give you all the idea. It's just playing the pentatonic scale backwards. But on that G string, bending it up. You could even, I guess, yeah, bend it up. So when you get that finish, big finishes with bands, you do the drummer going crazy, all that kind of stuff, do a big finish. awesome step. And you're just playing the pentatonic scale backwards. Soloing's it's much more simple than it is complicated. A lot of times you just have to know how to do it, be explained, and take off. Simplicity. So that's the exercise for the day. If you struggle playing on the 5th fret, move up to the 7th. You'll get much more, in my opinion, that idea of the bending and hearing those pitches and stuff, kind of trying to nail those in, fine tune those. And so if you struggle, go on the 7th fret. Sometimes on the A, the tension can be a little tighter. So if you struggle with that, move up to the 7th. And let's get past the exercise for the day, and let's deal with the song. We're actually going to be looking at a song in my guitar book today, Silent Nights, lesson 4 on page 28, if you have it with you. If you don't, that's okay. I'll walk you through it. And if you don't, why not? Go and get it now. It's free. Download in the comments below. And click the link in the comments below. And if you're on Instagram or something like that, just go to my, click the link in my bio. So let's, we're going to be learning Silent Night, right? Classic. If you're a guitar player, you're going to know Silent Night. And if you don't know Silent Night, you're going to be in a bad spot because you're going to be at some point asked to play Silent Night. I don't care where you are, church or wherever you're playing, you're going to have to play Silent Night at some point as a guitarist. That's just like, it's part of the rule. I mean, it's like breathing or drinking water. You have to do it to live. So as a guitarist, you're going to have to do it. We're going to play in the key of A today. So, key of A, let's give this a look. Wonderful. All right. And now, if you're following with this, you know what an A chord is. If you watched the last 2 videos, so you're even ahead. The 3 chords we're going to learn are A, major, D, and E7. And isn't it awesome because you already know those? If you don't know those, go watch the previous video, and you can pick those up where they are. You can also, in the guitar book, check out the chord chart for those as well. So let's look at this. We're going to play a fingerstyle called balada, is what we call it, what I called it in what they call it in Brazil, where I learned to play more of the technical terms, getting into the Latin, this kind of stuff, the musical terminology, if you will. So balada basically is just the word for translated is ballad. So you're kind of playing this ballad feel, which is going to sound something, you know, let the clock finish before I start playing this. It's going to be jacked up. It's in the key of G. That'll clash anyway. So which sounds something like this. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to do beginner first. We're going to learn the waltz. The waltz, that's what happens when you're live. You get it raw, people, right there. There you go. All right, so the waltz for the beginner players out there, if you're just kind of starting more of beginner level, if you're not, sit tight, that's what's coming. So what we're going to look at is called the waltz. A gente fala, we call it the valsa. And the valsa, I say that with my American accent. Now my Brazilian friends are like, oh my gosh, his Portuguese is getting so bad. Estou tentando, não posso falar muito mais, sim. Não consigo ouvir meu povo, minha família brasileira mais. But what we're going to do is, it's the waltz, it's the valsa. And so what it is if you learn the march in the previous lessons, that's awesome, because the march we learned, right? Kind of like the boom chuck in America, right? A marsha that we learn. And what's great about that is you only have to add one more stroke. So you already know 2/3 of the rhythm, which makes this awesome to learn the waltz, the valsa. So you're going to do the same thing like in the march from our first lesson, and then strum down. Hit the root note and strum down. And on the waltz, you're going to add one more downstroke. So it's like three, it's in 3/4 time is what you could say. So 1, 2, 3. Root note, 2, 3. That's it. Root, down, down. 1, 2, 3. Awesome, right? That's so cool. It makes it, see, when you learn one rhythm, it's starting to build off each other, and that's where it starts to get fun. All right. So what we're going to do is on page 28, lesson 4 in my guitar ebook that you can download in the comments below. What you're going to do is start with an A chord, and I'll walk you through this. So let's kind of get up to speed. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. E7, here it comes to that switch. A. Here comes the D chord. Here comes an A. Here comes that D. A chord. Here comes an E7. A chord's coming up. Hold the A chord. E7, here we go. A chord. Now if you've been doing that Silent Night, 3 chords and the waltz. You know, why do you call it the waltz? Well, because you can like dance the waltz to it. It's awesome. So there you go. Now you know something else on top of that. Check that out. All right. Now, as we're looking at this, let's pick it up a little bit. Let's play a little bit faster. All right, ready? You can do it. Come on, give it a try. Stretch yourself a little bit. Keep it clean, but let's try to push ourselves just a little bit. See what you can do. I believe in you. You're doing it so good the first time. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I completely counted that off. I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3. D chord, going to the A chord. Here comes that D. Here comes the A chord. We're going to an E7. A. Hold the A, E7, fast change going back to the A. Fantastic, good job, all right. Stretching yourself a little bit. Maybe that was a little easy. Up to tempo would be, what would it be? Remember, if your speed is, or if your speed is, this is your speed, but it's clean. That's awesome. Everybody starts everywhere. Don't push yourself too hard and start stumbling. and the notes aren't clean. We want clean, solid notes. Don't be like me, get 10 years down the road and have to go back. Trust me, you don't want to do it. Start out right now. Go for that clean sound. Okay, up to speed will be like this, and then we're going to move on to how to play this even more intricate with a fingerstyle. This is technically a fingerstyle, but more of a folksy strum fingerstyle combination. We're going to just get a little more, take it up a notch to level 2. All right. I think that's speed. Yeah. 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. E7, A. I don't miss the root note. Sorry about that. Live music. D. A. D chord, A, E7, A, hold it, E7, A. All right, super job, guys. Fantastic, very nice. Okay, what we're going to look at now is how to take it and play like a full-on, little more intricate. So level 2, Silent Night. Are you ready for this? So here we go. It starts off by the same concept. Your thumb is going to hit the root notes. That doesn't change. We're starting on an A chord, right? That does not change. Still Silent Night, just a little bit different. Your 3 fingers are going to be assigned to that index on the G, middle on the B, and your ring on the E. So, polegar, indicador, medoy, analem. P-I-M-A. Fantastic. So, your thumb will change depending on what root note you're playing. The A on the 5th, the D on the 4th string, and the E7 is going to be the top string. Remember that, and you will be absolutely fine. So, let's give this a whirl. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you got to go back up on the B string and then the G string. So you're literally just walking down and then you're walking it back up. This is called balada, like I talked about before when I was skipping ahead. This is the ballad. You're going to walk down. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool, huh? Root note. I, M, A, M, I. Let's give this a whirl with the song. This can be a little tricky. If you're not a finger stylist, this can be a little challenging, but we'll take it real slow and then we'll pick it up into normal speed. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E7. Remember to change that root note. To the A. Make sure you're hitting that 5th string for the root. Here comes that D chord, 4th string, right? On your thumb, P. Here comes the A chord. Here comes that D chord again. Here comes the A. Here comes the E7. Back to A. One more time on the A, hold it. E7. Back to the A. Very nice. That's a little challenging. If that's easy for you, hang on. But if that's hard, dude, I get it. That's not easy to play. Fingerstyle is tricky, but so rewarding. So let's look at that. Break it down a little bit. And remember from last week we learned the toada, like I said. So if you're watching these videos in order, you've already been trained a whole week for this. Like the toada, when you play it, 2, 3, 4, right? P-I-M-A, okay? All you're adding, M-I. So you're just adding 2 notes. That's what's cool. All the worlds in fingerstyle and guitar start to collide, and you get something so cool. And so yes, it's exciting. It's super exciting. And so hang in there. Let's pick it up a little bit. How fast do we play? 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Maybe that was a little easy for you. Let's pick it up a little bit. Let's kind of, and if it's not, push yourself a little bit, but play clean, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E7, A. Here comes that D. Comes an A. D, sorry. Back to A. Here comes an E7. A. Hold on to the A. E7. Back to A. I think that was right on. Yeah, that was right on speed. If it wasn't, it was really close. So we're gonna look a little bit. If you're hearing some chirping and stuff, I apologize. We're on a farm. We've got some little chicks and ducklings out on the front porch out there. Where the little teeny tiny are so cool. Tons of them hatched these last few weeks, and so if you hear that's what it is. Sorry about that. It's a little, can be a little relaxing, like you're taking a walk through the woods, right? The gift of life that the Lord creates is absolutely amazing. I think all those came from an egg, and everything else the Lord puts together to make life happen is absolutely amazing. All right. People say there's no creator. When you start researching everything and looking just outside, man, creation testifies that God is the absolute creator. It's beautiful. Okay. what we're going to look at here is like maybe you're looking at like, hey, that's cool. Can I pick it up even more? Yes, you can. So if we're doing the speed, right? Okay. E7, A, D, A, D, here comes the A chord. Here comes that E7, A, hold the A, E7, A. I love to do that if it's kind of like on the last verse or something, or in the middle where it's kind of picking up and doing that kind of stuff. It's so much fun to kind of spice it up a little bit when you start doing. You guys get the idea. It's really, really fun to kind of do that kind of stuff, and a little improv there for you, and some missed notes too. Live music. And then so that's awesome. It's pretty stuff. Silent Night is such a pretty piece to do. It's fun. It's really fun. What we're gonna do is we've got time for one more, and I'm gonna kind of teach you the idea of it. Maybe this is for more intermediate. I would say intermediate player. Maybe even more experienced, more of an advanced level. But I would definitely say intermediate. If you're intermediate, I'm going to change it up a little bit on the chords for you because you're going to be able to keep up with this. If not, sit tight and work into it. We're going to do a bar chord. All right. Joe. No, not the bar chord. The dreaded bar chord. We're going to do it on the 3rd fret. It's basically like an A chord, except when you go up half a step, you have to bar it, right? So we have a B flat chord. And you go up another step, you have a B chord. And you go up another one to the 3rd fret, you have a C. It works just like a piano. Bar chords, if you play piano or you know the scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and all the half steps in between, bar chords do the same thing piano does. There you go. Mind-blowing theory moment right there for anybody that knows that kind of stuff. I'll dive a little more into that in the next lesson, but thought you might like to know that. So, 3rd fret, C chord. Now, we're just going to learn just a few lines, just kind of get you introduced to this concept. Okay, maybe something a little hard, something to kind of tinker with as you go. But, playing the C chord. 3rd fret, it's basically a B flat chord, or a B, but just on the 3rd fret. So, if you get confused, play your A chord and slide your A up to the 5th fret. Sounds okay, mystical, and then just completely bar across the 3rd fret. Play the 5th string down. Cool. All right. So the C chord. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to look at the same fingerstyle. Pretty cool, playing the melody, kind of combining some fingerstyle and stuff together. Just an intermediate, simple little medley going on here. and it might be in over some of y'all's head. It's okay. It gets there. When you master one song, playing the melody, they all come together. Trust me. But before then, you just feel like you're beating your head against a wall. All right. So we're going to kind of strike our thumb with that high E. Da, 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 da. And so what we're going to play right here, yeah, I'm not a solo singer, sorry. So when you do that, you're going to take your pinky and we're going to place it. You're not moving, you're still on the 5th fret, but you're going to play it on that last, oops, and then you're going to let off when you're barring. So it's kind of like, take your pinky, 5th fret on the high E, let off, and then put it back down for that C chord on the B string, 5th fret. If I kind of bend over here a little bit, you can see a little better. Cool. Now what it's going to do, first strike, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you might have to skip around a little bit on that last note. I don't have to, but it'll kind of sound a little redundant. You see, it doesn't quite resolve. So if I kind of skip a string or whatever feels most comfortable to you. Let's kind of go back to that D. That G, excuse me. So let's kind of walk through that a little bit. Let's look at this. What's great is you already know like 4 or 6 bars of the song. You already know the majority chunk when you know that little line because it comes back over and over and over again. So that's good news right there. Conquered this one little chord and you get majority of the song. Isn't that awesome? Play it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, something simple, something pretty like that. What you're gonna do, is I gotta kind of move around a little bit, get in camera. Same chord, you're just sliding to the 10th fret. Same note, the high E string. And then you go down to B. So it's the same rhythm. Huh. So play that in sequence. What this is basically a barred F chord all the way to the 8th fret. Yes, 5, 7, 8. Yes. And it's just that high E. Repeat. Right? That high E, high E, high B. So in sequence. the 10th. That C chord, right? And then I play that same bar chord from the B flat. Kind of just a little introduction. I'm not going to teach the whole thing, but it just gives you an idea of the possibilities. It's so worth, if you're one of more of those advanced players, kind of pick a melody out. The purpose of this is when you're listening to a song, when we go back to that C chord, that very first one, and I'm going to be wrapped up for the day, what you do is when you're trying to play melody together, and finger pick at the same time. A lot of times you're going to have to change the strings a little bit and orchestrate, but learn the melody first. Learn where the notes are with the chord you've picked that's best for you. It may not be a bar chord. I get bar chords are hard. But when you play that, there's the melody. And then when you do that, when that gets in your brain, you're familiar where it is, then add the fingerstyle to it. I have to move around a little bit. You know, learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. A lot of people probably get mad with me saying that, especially trained musicians out there. That's how you be creative. People were creative that made the guitar and these finger styles and all this stuff. They didn't just play in a box. That's why we have today what we have. So, learn the finger style, master it, learn it like a pro. So when you have to kind of adjust to play be you out there. No one can play the guitar like you can. You have a gift from the Lord, and whether you're just starting with that gift or you have years and decades into it, no one can play the guitar like you. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to be another player. Just be you. Be original. No one can do you better than you. And that's an encouraging thought. Use the gift God's given you. Learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist and honor God with it. And so, yeah, that's kind of my spiel with the finger style. Moving around, play what feels, if feeling more comfortable to you, that's not milonga. But it's cool. What is it? It's different. Be you. What's easiest to kind of finger pick when you're playing the melody? Think outside the box. Remember, no one can do you better than you. God's given you a gift. Use it and be yourself with it and honor Him with it. This has been Joseph Allen Music. Another lesson this week. Tune in next week for the next lesson. Same bat time, same bat channel. 7 o'clock on Friday if you're watching this on Facebook Live. And yes, it's so much fun. Go back and watch some others you haven't caught. If you haven't watched those, go do that. And then in the comments below, be sure to download. I got clacking somewhere in here. I don't think it's my strap. And if you haven't downloaded my free ebook, be sure to do that today. Go download that. Go click the link in the comments below and be sure to download it. It's free for limited time only. Not forever, but for right now, it's limited time. And go out and grab it. And go check my website in the same link below. And maybe a cool, fun song you want to listen to. that we do, that I've been a part of and playing, and have been blessed to do, go down there and take a peek at it and listen to it. And if you don't know who Jesus is, I'd love to tell you about him. Honor God in all your ways. Send me a comment. You never know, you might be somebody like, Jesus, whatever. I'm telling you, give him a chance. He'll change your life. He did mine. And I would love to share that with you. Comment below if you know who Jesus is, or message me wherever, whatever form you can contact me. And see you guys next Friday. Stay in his steps. Honor the Lord in all your ways with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. To God be the glory. And love your neighbor as yourself. In Christ, guys. God bless. Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. Oh, be sure to comment below. If you got something cool you want to learn, I'll do it. Comment below if there's something you want to learn. I'll get that together for you guys. Thanks so much.